All right, just kicking off part 2 of my mail week, day, month-ish video. All of this here, let's see, it goes, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 deep. Or I shouldn't say 7 deep, 7 high, then 4, and in some areas 5 and 6 back. Yeah, that's a problem. Look at, I just noticed this. This wasn't done intentionally, I swear. What's that down there? I wonder if I'll be able to zoom in on it when I edit the video. Down there where they belong. WNBA Prizm. Shh, don't tell anybody I have any of that. So this is stuff here that's high-end quality, kind of keeper-ish stuff. I got more over here. And then over here, this here is stuff that needs to be sold next after the other organization project I spoke of in the last video is done. This is all football, basketball, and then you have some non-sport like Ninja Turtles cards and things like that, but mostly football and basketball here. What the fuck is this? Who knows? Got this several months ago. Haven't had time to set it up. Terrible, right? Leaving money on the table, baby. So I've got a lot of work to do in terms of organizing. And lesson, don't let your stuff get that far out of hand. Too busy with other things and just didn't make the time that I needed to get my organization on. And when you don't organize, then you have headaches like that sitting over there. That's just the raw cards. The graded cards, those are a mess as well. Kind of depressing to think about the amount of work that's going to have to go into that. All right, so I bought a huge lot of 2021 Chrome cards. Refractors, first Chromes. These were the ones that came out to be good. Roughly on these cards, I think I had bought, I want to say it was something like 30 cards or so for about $60. It might have been 40 cards for $80. And within those cards, when I got them, a lot of the cards had print lines on it. And that's what I talked about in my last video was if you're going back trying to acquire 2021 Bowman refractors of guys that maybe weren't as hot at the time, but have really picked it up. Tiedemann is really one of them. Bednar, just because I didn't get a chance to grab him. Clark, Fox, Spikes, you know, guys that weren't necessarily on the A tier with Henry Davis, Benny Montgomery, Brady House, Marcelo, for instance, but their performance has dictated that I probably should pick up a few of their cards. If you're going back trying to pick up stuff, just watch out. Print lines galore on those. Bad. Oscar Gonzalez, picked up a couple of his for $6. Just thought of something. Just remembered other things I picked up, a few graded cards. I was watching John MP's video just a bit ago. So here's his channel. He's almost 200 subs. He's at 95. I'll have to zoom that in when I edit. I was watching his mail day video. He was talking about some rookie autos he picked up. Ojulari from the Giants and Jimenez from the Indians. Those were raw autos, but it made me think of a little something I picked up here. So I'll get to that in a second. So let's carry on with this mail day. I want to save those two for the end. I'll just kind of shuffle through these. Rafaela didn't really pick up as much of his as I wanted to at the time, but now we're moving forward in time here. So you're going to see different things, or mojos not from 2022. I started to go a different direction with things, and I started to circle back, like I said, with Guzman, but picked up this Poku for about $4 or $5. I think it had some slight surface issues, not going to be a 10, maybe a 9, but I started working on some things outside of cards that led me to prospects. Should have saved that for the end as well. Little Sapphire here. These are tough, just some FYI if you're looking at buying singles, if you haven't done so yet. A lot of print line issues with these cards. Not as bad as 2021 Bowman Chrome, but you have to be careful. You can't see it in the photos. This Lizarraga green, Shane Baz foil, another Oscar Gonzalez mojo. As I was saying, I started to get into some prospects and whatnot and grabbed these two Samads. I think they were about $33 each. Question. There was a red that was ending. It was to 10. I decided to pass. I think it ended at about $85. because I saw that the seller had these 2 purples coming up at auction. I know that it's different, you know, like why not just buy them all? But the red was going a little bit out of what I felt comfortable paying. Like I said, it went for maybe $80-$85 prior to tax and everything, prior to tax and shipping. But these two, $66 total, what I got them for. So would you rather have that one red that's maybe 85 or 90? Remember, it's numbered to 10 though. Or these 2 purples to 25 for about $66. You'd probably rather go with the red, right? More rare. Picked up a lot of Clace. There was a lot of 14 of them that I picked up for, I want to say it was right about $60. And 8 of them looked pretty clean. I'm not saying they're going to be 10s. They're 9s at least. You hope to get a couple 10s out of there. Here were the lesser ones. 6 of those, like I said. I picked up a couple Oscar Gonzalez lots here. It was a foil lot and a first. It was about 50-50 in terms of cards that looked nice versus the ones that didn't. Interestingly enough, you know, I talked about the Arteaga lot in the previous video where the first edition looked good. Say first editions where they look good, but with this one they didn't. But the foil cards looked really nice. The foil cards are sexier anyway, right? So it was a, oh yeah, there were a couple chromes in there too. I'd forgotten about those. So these are the 4 that weren't as nice. It was a 10 card lot and it was about $28 I think I paid for it. So it wasn't cheap necessarily, but you know, these 6 cards look nice. I felt okay. If the foil was damaged and the chrome were damaged and it was just the paper that looked nice, I probably would have been a little pissed off. But yeah. Okay, so here are some other things I picked up. This Poku looked pretty clean. I paid $7 for this one. So that's a potential grader down the road if he does anything. Thunder, maybe a couple years. This Travis Etienne. I actually grabbed this thing for about $5 or $6. Really clean. Ooh, look at that sexy card. Ooh, this one. Oh, which one should I show first? Oh man, who do you like first? This is going to be a tough question as well. Hey, they play different sports. Why not like them both? At the orange mosaic, Jamar Chase, really clean on this card. The one thing I noticed though was, and it was when I was buying it, was the centering was a little bit thicker on this side. You never buy a card like this expecting it to be a 10. I believe I paid $21 for this one. And with the same seller, then he had the ATN, so I just ended up winning that one at auction. Like I said, it was about $5 or $6. This one looked really clean. I think maybe a slight surface issue, like a print line. So I figure it might be a 9. Something that is a nice long-term hold for the PC. And then this one I picked up for $18. Anthony Edwards. It's a national pride. Disco, though. And with this one, I felt, again, like it was looking really nice when I saw it. You never know how the surface is going to be, but it came out really clean. Centering top to bottom. Might be a little bit thinner on the bottom, but still, if you could still 9 that, and you're into the card for, same as the Chase, maybe $40 with grading, I think you'd probably take that. And then we'll just wrap it up here, show you some graded card pickups that I had. These first 3, and there's 5 total, I would say, especially these first 2. You guys probably aren't going to amount to anything, but I believe I picked these cards up for about $4 and $5 each. PSA 10, Jalen Hands, Orange Ice. He's overseas right now. He was in the G League. We got Smalagic. This one, I think this one might have been even $3. This one was the banger of the lot. I think this one was about $6. Hopefully this dude doesn't get his ass whooped by cops anymore. You know, gotta turn my $6 into $12. Come on now. Stay out of jail one time, would ya? These 3 I picked up from the same seller because I had purchased Rocio here. He's one of the Indians' better prospects. And I was able to get this first Bowman Chrome for, I think I paid about $21 for it. But the seller was doing combined shipping. So that's why I just went after these cheap ones. There were about 5 to 8 others that I didn't win, but I was putting in max bids of about $6, $7, $8, and whatever windfall I got was what I got. I think he was doing additional shipping for maybe $0.25 each. So I was like, why not? Throw it out there. grab a couple cheap slabs. Obviously out of that, the Jackson Hayes is one where the guy's still in the league for now, so there's some potential on that one. And this final card, and then we'll get out of here. This video is getting a little long. I paid $42, I believe is what I paid for this. One of the Cardinals' top prospects, Bowman Chrome PSA 10 auto. And so that's why I had thought about it. I had those actually way over there somewhere, and then it just hit me when I was just watching John's video before I started recording this, because he had the autos. I was like, hey, let me show that auto I had. So Montero, he was moved to the Rockies in the Nolan Arenado trade, and he's a third baseman. Send one out, bring one back. So here you go, the next Nolan Arenado for the Rockies. Now he's hitting over 300 in AAA. Got a little bit of call up in the show, didn't really hit too much lately, but 23 years old. So we'll see. $40 for that play, $42. One final thing I wanted to say was, when you're thinking about, like, let's say you're a baseball guy and you're really thinking about, like John, for instance, he's really a baseball guy by and large, although he did pick up that Ojulari auto that I talked about. But if you're a baseball guy by and large, I would say that there's opportunity if you're looking to be a buyer, like prospecting. Now, nobody's going to, I'm not going to sit here and talk about guys that you should buy or shouldn't. I'll leave that to some bozos. I didn't get along to doing my research on prospects until later in the year, just quite recently. So perhaps I missed the boat on a lot of guys. Maybe I could have got this for $30 or this for half price a month ago. Usually I do my work in April and May as the season kind of gets rolling. So what I would say to you, if you're really into that type of thing where you're looking at prospecting, then you really have to stay on top of things. You can't just sit there and look at the top 100 list on MLB.com, because that's what everybody's doing. You have to dig deeper into each organization's top 30 and then kind of do your own work from there. What are you looking for in a prospect? What kind of things? I like your own criteria. I have my criteria for things that I look for. Developing your own criteria and staying on top of stuff. It's difficult because we have lives and jobs and loved ones and careers and all kinds of things, other things going on outside. Mountain Family Cards got kids that are super active doing their own thing. So it's the person that's able to stay on top of the research, prospecting specifically. And the same could be said about the NFL, NBA, more so prospecting. We're talking about minor league guys, but just putting the time in, sussing through all the data. As I've said before, I'm not one that chases the hype. I chase performance, right? So if I see somebody performing well, as I said in my last video, had to come back around, pick up Guzman, had to pick up Quiero, had to pick up a few other guys, Peyton Wilson, Luca Tresh, that weren't on my radar to begin with, but their performance dictated that I should at least grab a couple of their mojos. Same thing with these prospects. If you want to play in that game, you really have to put in the time and do your research and just understand that there's a lot of guys out there that are doing that research as well, because when I came across some other names, I was like, oh, okay, this guy, he's not in the top 100. He's not exactly, he might be the number 15 Dodgers prospect or the number 20 Yankees prospect, but he meets my criteria. Let me go check out his cards. And then all of a sudden I see a ton of bidders in on his cards, usually in auto only situations where a guy's only got an auto in Bowman Chrome. But the point is, there's other people out there doing their diligence. So if you really want to play in that game, do the same. Get the data, set your criteria, and kind of decide who you want to go after. So thanks for watching, everybody. Mail day, clutter day, and FYI day. Take care, everyone. Be well.